Hey guys, welcome to today's video. It's going to be a little bit different. So this is mostly taken from my Twitch stream, and this is a video about tier list. And this is essentially a community-based tier list where I got everybody in my community on Twitch chat to vote where they thought the heroes belonged. So was this S tier, A tier, etc. And then I put it together in a tier list. This is quite a long video, but Vegas and I talk about each hero in detail, what we think is broken about them, what we think is not broken, what we think is bad, etc. So, of course, I understand not all of you are going to want to sit around for an hour. So I'm just going to show you the tier list right now. So for the first tier list, this is on the screen. This is the community voted one. So this is what all of you voted for. This is not my opinion. This is not influenced by my opinion at all. And then the second picture. And then this is the second tier list. Now, this is my version of the community tier list. What this means is that I took certain heroes, I moved them around a little bit. I took some heroes that were in S tier, put them in different tiers. Basically, this reflects more accurately my opinion of certain heroes in the game right now. Yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys want the explanations for each hero, watch the video. I don't have timestamps at the moment because honestly, I've been spending so much time editing this video that I don't have time to get timestamps. So if someone wants to do that in the comments, that would be appreciated. Anyway, without further ado, enjoy the video and let me know if this was a fun type of content or if it was way too long, or any comment that you have, let me know in the comments as always. And I hope you guys have a good day. Enjoy. We're going to go through every hero and I'm going to make a Twitch poll and you guys are going to vote which tier you would put him in. So we're just going to keep it simple, right? We're going to keep the tiers from essentially from S tier to D tier. You guys get 3 minutes to vote. Now, I'm going to talk about my thoughts on Abrams while you guys vote. So my thoughts on Abrams are, I think Abrams is a very strong hero. I would put Abrams, personally, okay, I'm not going to say any tier, right? Because I want you guys to vote. I'm just going to say my thoughts about Abrams. So, Abrams right now, he's a good frontliner. He has great sustain. And he essentially forces the entire enemy team to buy anti-heal. If you don't have an early decay or heal bane against Abrams, you will get clapped by the Gubami Wizard build. And the Siphon Life build is very, very strong in the current meta. His laning stage is good. He's really good at denying. And he's good at like pushing objectives, especially with the Guardian bug right now where you ignore resistances. Those are my thoughts on Abrams. I think that there are definitely counters to Abrams. He's not like, you know, uncounterable. There's nothing you can do. If you're playing against this hero, like if you buy decay and heal bane, he can definitely fold over sometimes if you have a lot of anti-heal. But even then, he still does a lot of damage. And I think especially in lower levels of play, this hero is very oppressive because he has a lot of CC. And people don't build anti-heal as much. Yo, what's up?
Hey, what's up, Deathy?
We're doing a little community tier list where I'm letting the community vote on these heroes. How accurate do you think it's going to be?
The community voting?
Yep. So I'm just talking about the heroes. I'm like, I think this hero's good, but what do you guys think?
Oh, you're not. Oh, you're like, is it Twitch poll or is it Discord?
Yeah, Twitch poll.
I mean, I feel like the community will be like pretty much correct. I mean, there'll probably be a couple outliers, like heroes that are just like C tier that the community probably thinks are like S tier or something, just off of like pubs.
Or the opposite.
I'm curious. Yeah, probably.
All right, well, it looks like Abrams is A tier, so we'll, you know, it looks like everybody thinks he's A tier. You said A tier too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so put Abrams in A tier. I'll probably make the polls 2 minutes because 3 minutes is long. All right, so we'll start discussing about the next hero, Bebop. This is your favorite hero, Vegas? You really like this hero?
Oh yeah, I mean, such a honestly just ingenious design from the creators of Valve to make just a, you know, initiator hook hero in a third-person game where the hook comes out of your right side of your body and can also one-shot you and scale with % damage. It's wow, just genius. I mean, I don't even know how to describe this hero. It's just amazing.
Right. What do you think about the fact that his resistances scale with boons? Is that good too?
Oh, I forgot about that. Oh, and don't forget the 3 stamina and 3 sprint speed.
Yeah, well, he needs that.
And 3 regen. And free both armors and 650 health and like at 80%.
Oh yeah, he also has melee resist, by the way.
Forgot about that.
He also has melee resist. So yeah, Bebop. This hero is. I think this hero is like one of those heroes that's like when everybody was bad at the game, this hero was like not that good. But like the better people get at the game, the better this hero is.
Yeah, that's why like people thought I was crazy because like when NDA dropped, I already had like 1,000 games, and I knew this character was just you know S plus tier. And
Yeah.
everyone who like just started playing was like, "Oh, just don't get hit by the hook, man." Like nobody realized how deviant his kit was. Like,
Except the hook has a
when you, like,
fucking
overload
8-second
stats.
cooldown.
Yeah, it's like Blitzcrank without a hook character without mana in a third-person game. Like, how could that? How did that happen?
You know, and he also does a lot of damage. I guess
Oh
DPS
yeah,
is not
like a
even
lot.
bad.
Yeah, of either type.
And his bomb is infinite scaling.
Mm-hmm.
Every time you get a kill. You know, he just has so much in his kit. It's kind of insane. What does the community think? It looks like it's fully split between S and A tier. 50-50 almost.
When you throw Viper's 1, by the way, it comes at like the middle of the body.
Yeah.
So you can't like third-person peek it. When you throw Bebop
Yeah.
hook, it's on the right corner of his body. You can just third-person peek. Like,
Makes
I don't
sense.
think that should be true. I don't know.
Makes
like,
sense. I mean,
hooking is a little dumb.
Calico, in my
it's a DLC
opinion,
hero.
Yeah, I mean, it's DLC hero, first of all. Second of all, Calico suffers from the Deadlock phenomenon, which is not exclusive to Deadlock, but which is, hey, let's make every hero that's tanky also do a lot of damage. And so Calico is just like, outputs a lot of damage, has really strong, like, her gun is really good, despite being a melee hero, right? She has good survivability by the fact that she has E-shift by default on her ult. She has insane mobility with cat form. She's a super tanky hero that can turn into like a tiny little cat that you can't hit. The hitbox of the cat is so small. Yeah, you don't show on map either with cat. Yeah, you don't show on map, so you can clear waves with like cat cold front without even showing. Nobody knows where you are. Yeah.
That hero does every single thing in the game except CC. It has literally everything. Like it literally like there's like 10 checkboxes when you make a hero. This character has 9.
Yeah.
You can do anything in the game besides CC.
Also, this hero is like arguably just as hard to kill as like an Abrams or something, and she's extremely slender.
It's like this character is like old Shiv.
But this character has everything and mobility. Shiv didn't have mobility. Shiv never had mobility.
Well,
this
he
hero
has move speed in the Rage.
Yes, that's true. But like she has like she gets 110% move speed bonus in cat once you put 2 points. 110%.
I mean, yeah, this character just is too tanky for her kit, for sure. It should be like more like a Yamato archetype. I mean, to be fair, I think Yamato is also too tanky for her kit. Like Yamato and Calico are just like so. They like their HP is solid, and then they heal so much.
Yeah. So it looks like community decision. Calico S tier. 88% of people think she's S tier.
Put her above Bebop because Bebop got
right. I'll put her. Yeah, I'll put her above Bebop. You're right. Yeah, Bebop was like way more of a split. Bebop was like really close. Next hero, Dynamo. Dynamo, on paper, has like a really good kit. Like the Quantum Entanglement is probably one of the like most insane abilities that's used poorly. Like how many times do you see a Dynamo use this ability well?
This character, like literally, you're right. It's like the average Dynamo plays this character so wrong. Like that ability is like honestly a top 3 ability in the game.
I agree.
It's not used properly at all. Like I think this character like in a bubble is S, in like comp it's like B because lane matters, but like this character is like an A tier character like on like in pubs I think. And this character like does a lot.
One second.
It's very reliant like item meta though.
I think that if Quantum Entanglement, if you take this ability, you put it in like any MOBA or even hero shooters or anything, this ability is just insane. And then the like singularity, even if you use it on one person, there's the ability to just kill one person like guaranteed, and there's no counterplay. The only counterplay is unstoppable, but like realistically, it's incredibly difficult to react to like a Dynamo warp stoning ulting on top of you with unstoppable. Like I don't know if I've ever done that. It's possible, in theory. I
think this character is like B right now, but like I don't think that's bad. Like I think this character easily is like it's like strong. It's just like I think there will be times when this character is S tier, depending on like small balance changes and like item changes. Like in certain metas, like right now, like lane matters the most. Like even in pubs, right? Like if you're losing lanes, like you're gonna just destroy your whole team's tempo. But like if in the future lanes matter less, this character and like it's more about mid to end game fights. This character will be broken.
Yeah, because like this hero in mid game fights, like. Just getting that singularity is actually insane. The heal is insane. Kinetic Pulse is an ability that deals a ton of damage and is CC somehow. right? Like it knocks everyone up. Like this ability is really good against specific heroes. Like for example, Infernus. How do you play Infernus into Dynamo? He dodges your ult. He knocks you up when you flame dash. Like how do you play Infernus into Dynamo?
You have to slowing hex this. You have to
Yeah.
warp stone over his 1, and then you have to slowing hex his 2. That's how.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can, but like there's certain heroes that just get screwed by
Yeah.
knockups, and like the fact that this ability is also underrated. I think almost all of his abilities are underrated. I think people understand how good Singularity is, but I don't think people understand how good the rest of his kit is. All right, so it looks like we got a B. 50% of people voted
pretty
B.
fair. I see the potential. I think the character will be really good in the future.
Yeah.
There's some crazy
great
stuff
Talon
with it right now that people don't know about.
Great Talon's you have a love-hate relationship.
I mean, this character is just like this character can't solo carry the game like a Calico can, but it's consistently high DPS value, and that's kind of about it. Like it's like really, this character is like really good DPS, but has downsides.
I think the community is going to disagree with you on this one.
I mean,
I think that this hero I think this is one of those heroes where as the community gets better, he will become a little bit worse because he's punishable. But I think right now he's probably S tier, because I don't think people are that good against him. And also you have to consider the fact that, I mean, it is a little bit comp dependent, yeah, but like it is a little bit hard to like counter this hero. Not like that hard. I don't know. This hero's damage output is also like insane, but yeah, obviously he does like fall over, but like he does have 4 base stamina, so he can, he can kite he can kite a while.
I think if he had 3 stamina and like the spirit items that are like the early spirit items were nerfed just a little bit, he would take like a massive chunk like down the tier list. Like this character
probably.
with like this character with the thing that's scary with this character is it's like honestly like it's like just like a little bit OP, but any sort of like item nerfs that nerf early game spirit, this character instantly goes from like S to B. Like it's so barely strong, and then like one minor change in item balance, like that character is just not useful. Like if you really think about it, right? If this character isn't dealing surprising damage, what is this character doing?
Yeah, other than I mean, okay, so to me, this hero, I think one thing that will improve as like people get better at this game is like the trap usage and the owl usage.
Yeah.
I think coordinated ganks with owl are always going to be strong, and trap is always going to be strong. But you're right that if he doesn't nuke you, he's not that good. Like he doesn't.
I think it's A tier.
He doesn't have like a lot of utility to his kit, and he does get shut down by like just people going on him. It looks like people are voting A, with 30% of people also voting S. So I'll put him like top of A tier so far. Abrams didn't have this many S tier votes, so Haze. I mean, we'll see what everybody thinks about this one. Haze is so funny because it's like Haze has historically either been dog shit or super OP. I don't know.
Haze players, are there any like Haze players, like a lot of games on Haze in the chat, that can explain to me why nobody utilizes the 2? Because like I'm a little offended because that was my idea.
Right.
I wanted the Haze because she's so squishy and like her boon scaling shit. I told them to create the max 2 a iframe to like dodge like an Abrams charge or something, and I don't see anybody ever use the 2, and nobody ever uses the 2 like as an iframe to dodge CC. And like, is any Haze players like, why is that not maxed like sooner?
I don't know. I mean, it seems good on paper, to be honest. Like, ability charges and 0.5 seconds of invincibility. I mean, it gives you a free, like, small little E-shift. You can use it to dodge Lash ult. It's true, for sure. It's a lot of AP, though. It is a lot of AP, that's true. I saw a character suggestion.
This character should be strong late game, though, now. Like, 40k net, you have rapid recharge, you have 4 iframes in a fight. Surely that's got to be, like...
Yeah, you can probably dodge a lot of burst that comes your way. Can you try to dodge Lash ult with that? Well, right now we're making the tier list, but I'm down to try it later. Max 2 is fooled 99% of Haze players.
You go out of world. Yeah. This character is like the most like noob friendly hero. Like you load into the game and like a lot of people like it's like Soldier 76. Like you queue up, you're like, I'll pick that. And so like I don't think the character is that bad, but it's definitely bad.
What do you think? What would be your final? I think she's like C tier.
I would say C.
Yeah.
Very like it's like you said though, it's like Grey Talon, but on the opposite spectrum. It's very close to being S with one different change.
Yeah. I mean, the reality is there's no like truly horrible heroes in Deadlock. Like she's C tier because everybody else is so strong, not because she's that weak. All right, so C tier for Haze. The community voted C, with D being second most, so she's gonna be bottom of C tier probably. We'll see. I'm curious if we'll put anyone in D tier. Holliday DLC character, so instantly that makes her her ratings artificially higher. This hero has only been nerfed since released. It's been nerfed many times. And in my opinion, it's still like, I mean, look at this hero's kit. How can this hero be bad with this kit? You have mobility with bounce pad, you have a knockup with powder keg, and you have lasso so you can like kidnap people in game. What do we think? Like, is this a S tier? Is this A tier? Is this like, I personally think that this hero is like, I mean, I don't know, it's hard to put this hero in S tier just because even though the kit is so good compared to every other hero in the game, like there are just certain heroes that are just like just way more oppressive than she is. Like she doesn't solo win games most of the time.
Yeah, I think this hero is like the same tier as Great Talon and Abrams, honestly. I think that's fair.
I think she's
Like,
also a
she's
little
top
bit
of A,
more
this
pilot
character's top
dependent.
of A.
She's a little bit harder to play as well than a lot of these other heroes. So I think that, you know, as like people get better, she's gonna maybe get a little bit of stock. I expect honestly this hero to be nerfed again at some point, maybe. Like I think that
Yeah,
the base kit is still
gun damage
insane.
is silly.
The base gun damage is
Her
silly.
base gun damage is way too high.
I mean the barrel is getting 200 damage once you put 2 AP in it. Like your barrels are doing more than a GT arrow and their AoE once you put 2 points in it. That seems kind of crazy, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
and
her relating stage is still like insane. Yeah, her relating stage is kind of ridiculous.
I just like put characters that it's like, in my opinion, it's not realistic for this character to solo carry. So like for me,
Yeah.
this character's A. Like any like the highest the character can go for me if you can't 1v6 is like A plus.
Mhm.
Like Bebop and Calico and like especially in pubs can like actually just be way too difficult. Like even on like Holliday on the offensive is like really OP, right? She's a really good aggressor. She can fly in and kidnap you. But if you swarm a Holliday like and she can't get in, she can't get away in her bounce pads, it's like she's not gonna 1v6. Like Calico can 1v6. Like this character can't 1v6 for sure. He can't 1vx very well. But I don't know. I think it's like very top of A, like realistically.
Yeah.
I do think it's OP still though.
Looks like community 65% A, 25% S, and 10% of you voted B tier. Very interesting on that, but so it looks like she'll fall right below Grey Talon, but above Abrams. I think that's fair. I agree with that mostly. I think Abrams has like a slightly different role, but like I would say overall Holiday's power is probably greater, and like there's a little bit
100%.
less counterplay to Holliday than there is to Abrams.
I'd like to see Holliday get one less of each charge.
I agree. I mean, why does she have 6 barrels? Like, she definitely does not need 6 barrels.
I think that bounce pad ability should not even be charged, bro. That bounce pad ability should be like a 10-second cooldown ability. That shit should like having charged on that ability is crazy.
Make it a little bit better and remove charges. Like I'd be totally fine
agree.
with that. All right, so we've got Infernus. Infernus, I feel like this hero is underrated almost every single patch. Like I feel like people freak out with like this hero used to be like S+ tier back in the day, like for a long time. And then it got nerfed a bunch, and then people were like, this hero is unplayable, and then it got charges on his 2, and then it was like, oh, this hero's OP again. And then they kind of like nerfed a couple things. They nerfed the time between charges, and then they kind of just left the hero as is. But one thing that a lot of people don't realize is if you max the 1, you have 40% damage amp. I don't know if people realize how good 40% damage amp is.
I think this character is the most, like, hot take, this is the most balanced character in Deadlock. This character is the golden middle, golden standard on like how heroes should be balanced. This character can be really strong sometimes and is really bad against some heroes. And like that's how every hero should be. Like this character like can easily be shut down by knockups and hard CC, but also like has solid duo laning, you know, solid team fighting, solid 1v1. Like his character is like the most balanced character, I think, like all around.
I think this character
like
also it doesn't feel terrible to play against generally. Like when you die to it, you feel like you fucked up, you know?
Yeah, like there was something you could do.
Yeah. You're like, oh man, you know, I let this guy get afterburn on me, and then he flame dashed me, and I didn't go on high ground, I didn't dodge it, like, you know, he ulted me, I didn't get out of the radius. Like all of his abilities have like clear visuals. You can all like counterplay them, but they're all still very strong. They're not like easy to counterplay, so it's not like easy for the opponent to just shut you out. But it's still like, yeah. So it seems pretty split on this, but B tier.
I think his damage amp will get nerfed eventually. Like being able to damage amp like decay like nowadays and
thank you for the prime
duration, I think like boost this character like really high as well. But
I mean, I think the items right now, the items, in my opinion about Infernus is that the items make this character A tier right now. Because items like Mystic Shot, Soul Shredder, Cold
yeah.
Front, like all of these items are just really, really good on him. All right, so Infernus is going top of B tier so far. All right, so Ivy. I know you think this character is really strong, or at least you thought this character was really strong. Like, this character is like technically a support hero. Like, you can tell when they made this character, they really wanted this hero to be like a support hero. She's one of the few heroes in the game that like you read all of her abilities and it's very clear that she was designed to be like a more supportive role in the game, because she has heal on her stone form, she replicates healing with her targets on her 2. Her ult is like AoE, like, you know, silence when you max it. Her 1 is also like AoE area control, so
I
you know.
think people play this hero wrong and don't take the time to read this hero correctly. If you do a deep dive on her kit and what her spirit scalings do and build around it, this character is good. I don't think people understand exactly how OP like her 2 is. It's a 0.3
Yeah.
scaling on fire rate, and
Mm-hmm.
her ult scaling with bullet shield is like ridiculous. So like
Yeah.
if you use her ult and if you build spirit, right? You build heavy
Yeah.
spirit, like late game, you can give 2 teammates 50% fire rate and 50% life steal. 2
Yeah.
people at one time and yourself. Like I just don't think this character is properly utilized at the moment, like at all.
Mm-hmm.
I think people
Mm-hmm.
just do like the dumb AD build, and it's stupid because like if you built spirit, you'd have better team fight impact with your silence and AoE, and then you'd get the same fire rate back and get the damage later. I just think people like build this character wrong, but I think this character
Mm-hmm.
is good. I think it's like bottom A.
Yeah, I mean, I think this hero's like, I think you're right. Like 50 fire rate, 50 life steal on 2 heroes. Like, if that was an item, that would be a 6k item. If that, it wouldn't be balanced probably. Actually, if it was an item, it would just like, it would just be way too strong. So the fact that you can get this is insane. Stone form is an iframe, so it can't be bad. AoE silence for 4.5 seconds without any duration extender. That's a really long silence.
This character has 4 good abilities. It's rare.
Yeah, the only thing that holds her back right now is her laning stage. It's not great. So
Yeah,
community voted A. I think that's fair. It looks like we have 57% A, 34% B. I mean,
yeah, it's
so
fair. Bottom A, I think, is where it belongs.
yeah, I think that puts her right below Abrams. Kelvin. Kelvin is one of those other heroes that I think has 4 good abilities. Like, Dome is always going to be inherently like really strong. Like, Dome is never going to be bad. It's not even just about the healing, but also the fact that you can isolate fights. Like, you can take forced 2v1s or forced 3v1s, like isolate someone and just kill them, and there's no counterplay possible, right? Like, the enemy can't get out of Dome in any way. The only counterplay they have is like using E shift to buy time, right? So that's always going to be powerful. Beam is really strong in lane. Ice Path is a good like rotational tool, and Grenade is just like an okay ability. I don't think it's insane, but it's fine. I think
I
this
think this
character.
character's. I don't think this character's S tier. I mean, it's like it's really OP, but it's not like OP in the sense that it's like nerf Kelvin now OP. Like for me, S tier
Yeah.
is like okay, that character's fundamentally just brain dead. Like you can't even play the game
Yeah.
against it. Like
Mm-hmm.
Calico and Bebop, I feel like are like that in my opinion. Like you get into a lane of
Mm-hmm.
Calico or Bebop, you're like, God damn it, dude! Like this shit is so dumb. Like I don't feel like that with Kelvin. I think Kelvin is like strong, but not like, you know, I don't load into a game. Go, they got Kelvin, we lose. like,
Yeah,
like
that's true. I agree. I think I would put him like A tier personally. I think he's strong, but it looks like a lot of people think that he's S tier though. 53% of
crazy.
people think he's S tier.
That's surprising the community thinks that because his win rates historically have been just awful in MM.
I think
Probably
it
because
could
he's like
be partly
a
because he's unfun
counter
to play
carry.
against.
Yeah, exactly. Counter carry. Like you're carrying a pub game and then the Kelvin like
He
heals the
domes
guy
you,
and saves
just
him.
runs
And,
at you, like he beams you in lane. It's really annoying. I think people like don't understand how to play against beam as well, so they just like get punished by it really hard in lane because you buy infuser extra spirit and you just like do a million damage. And people don't realize that the moment the Kelvin beams, you need to run away. People don't like respect it. So
yeah, that character's
Kelvin
win rates are
goes.
horrible.
What's the win rate right now? Do you know?
I'm gonna do track block last 1 month is 47%. I'm not angry about Kelvin being an S. Like I'm not like that doesn't like
Yeah.
bother me that much. I just think people are like a little
Yeah.
overvaluing it. But I do think it's OP. Like I do think it's OP, but it's not like
Yeah.
it doesn't take over games.
Lady Geist. Well, Lady Geist is interesting because for a long time, people underestimated Lady Geist because of her lack of mobility, especially on the 4-lane map. But then people started realizing, wait, swap like Soul Exchange is like insane, because if you're ever low, you can just like, you get Warp Stone or whatever, you can just target the enemy like carry, whoever has the highest net worth, and just like eliminate 70% of their health pool instantly if you're not silenced.
This character has never been bad, ever.
Yeah, that's true. People thought she was bad once upon a time, but she wasn't.
Like a couple
Yeah.
of patches that went by, Geist was like severely out tempoed by like a lot of fast moving and OP. Like remember like the old patches where like Pocket would have permanent invulnerability and shit.
Yeah,
Like yeah, she fell behind there a little bit, but
yeah.
like not even then though, because she had a silence. I don't know. I think that character's always been good. I don't think the character will ever be bad. Like honestly,
Yeah,
that
I
character
agree.
just does a lot. I don't think she's S tier by any means, but I would say A.
I mean, her worst, like realistically, her worst ability is her bomb, and it's not bad at all. But it's just, that's just her worst ability in my opinion, because like Malice gives you damage amp and movement slow, and it stacks. Like, yeah, I think bomb build is just horrible right now. Like Malice is just an insane ability. Soul Exchange is an insane ability, and Life Drain is like, it's very good. It's not that insane. Fun fact, most people don't know this, but you can debuff remover Life Drain. I think for me, I'd put her in A. Like, she's pretty good. It looks like people are putting her mostly bottom of A tier. You got 64% A tier, 21% B tier, and 13% S tier, which I think puts her like, I believe this puts her right above Ivy. Okay, Lash. I think this one's gonna be interesting because I think a lot of people really hate Lash, which is fair. He's an asshole, but I think that this hero is one of those heroes where as the people get better at the game, this hero becomes worse. A little bit like Grey Talon in the sense, well, he doesn't suffer from the same problems as Grey Talon, but all of his damage is, most of his damage is very like telegraphed, and there is counterplay. Like if people have warp stones or e-shifts, for example, and you try to slam them, if they see you coming, like they can just e-shift it, they can warp stone out of the slam, and slam is realistically your biggest like damage source. Like this character has 15% base spirit resist, so he can never be like bad. 15% base spirit resist is an insane stat to have, and Flog is really good, and like most of his abilities are good, but there's a decent amount of counterplay to him. And also his gun damage has gotten nerfed a lot, and his gun damage is like really bad.
Easiest gun in the game to use. Literal zero recoil laser beam.
Yes, it's a laser beam. That's true. It has zero recoil. It is a laser beam. And to be fair, it's like Wraith gun is also a laser beam, and it does like way more damage. Looks like B tier is winning so far. I personally would also put him in B tier right now. I think he's like, I think on paper, he's like just one change away or one meta away from being like S tier. There's a lot of things that are inherently broken about this hero, like the 15% spirit res, and like his ult is really good before people get E-shifts. But due to like current items and current systems in the game, it's like, oh no, I have to buy E-shift, the best item in the game, to counter Lash. That's kind of one of the main reasons why he's not that good. If E-shift was worse, Lash would be like S tier. But it looks like here, like he's gonna be top of B tier. I don't know if I would put him above Infernus, but he got more S tier votes than Infernus. So
that character has counterplay, and like yeah, like I know how to play against him in comp, but like when I'm just playing pubs, I just don't care. And like he's S tier in pubs in my opinion, just because like it's just like when you're not like fully dialed in paying attention, that character just like one shots you off cooldown and gets fed, then one shots everyone in the lobby off cooldown, and there's no counterplay like that early. But like that's a pub star like that's a pub stomp hero. Like if I was smurfing, I could just win 100 games out of 100 on that character.
Yes,
it's like the Master Yi of Deadlock.
Yeah, I agree that in pubs, especially when people like, I think the lower rank pubs, like the lower the rank the pub is, like the better Lash is. I would say in average games, he's probably S tier. If you're playing against like really good players, he definitely falls down. Like B tier for me is like if you're playing against really good players. If you're not playing against really good players and they're not like locked in and paying attention, he can easily be S tier. Yeah, I think my chat might be, maybe they're biased by my like anti-Lash
I guess like if they watch your stream, they might think it's pretty weak.
Oh, okay.
That makes sense.
McGinnis. I think I know what the community is going to say about this, because everybody has the same rhetoric about McGinnis. What I want to say is that McGinnis is like literally one change away from being like at least A tier. I think this hero, okay, so her ultimate is like pretty good. It's not crazy. Her wall is like a really, really good ability, though it did get like the new map doesn't seem as favorable for it as it was before, but wall is still like quite a strong ability. Her heal, I mean, I don't know if people realize, but 4% max health regen per second is just insane. Like this healing is like this is like the best heal ability in the game, and you can just like put it down and run away. Her turrets fucking suck. Her turrets are terrible.
Yeah, they never should have nerfed them.
Well, you know, we can disagree on that, but
They were.
her turrets are
You
horrible.
guys, yeah. Deathy said to nerf McGinnis turrets, and then there's things like Bebop that were never nerfed yet, and Paradox, and he
Okay,
thinks that like
I also think Bebop
McGinnis
should be
deserved a
nerfed.
hot fix. Like, no, good job, guys. Like McGinnis being like your entire chat is voting this is the worst hero in the game. I'm really happy we used all our Yoshi brownie points to nerf McGinnis turrets instead of the real problems of the game. Like you guys just wasted all of your like cry
All of our brownie
on
points?
a useless hero.
I think if she had 3 stamina, this hero would be way more
I was gonna
like
say that. 3
like-
stamina, 25% turret buff, characters B tier, A tier. Genuinely though, Funky is the goat at this hero. Like I actually think that guy is insane. Like if this character was strong, that guy would be top 10. That guy's just like a pest on this hero.
he's
That
a
guy
pest,
just like
yeah.
every walker will be defended and every walker will be taken. It's inevitable against Funky. He's actually
True.
no, like I'm not even trolling. I play against that guy
No,
on my
yeah.
alts like every day. He doesn't even know it's me. And like that guy is just cancer to play against. Like he's actually good at that hero.
But yeah, she's definitely probably the worst hero in the game right now, for sure. I think everyone agrees on that. Mirage, DLC hero, right? I'm curious what the community thinks because I feel like in comp we have this view of Mirage. I don't know if the community has this view of Mirage, but this hero, I think that there were some substances that were being consumed at the Valve headquarters when like this hero's kit was like put together. The reality is like the base kit is really strong and the numbers are really strong. Like these abilities, all of his abilities are good, like on paper. And also he really abuses like early spirit stacking really well. If early spirit stacking was nerfed, this hero would be way less oppressive. But right now with how
this character is OP because spirit stacking is OP, but this character like regardless, if you spent the exact same amount of money and put that into gun items, this character's gun is fucking ridiculous. Like this character, like at 2,000 souls standing on top of the bridge zones me out of my lane. I can't even peek. Like it's like just constant onslaught with no downtime. His gun is just broken, like fundamentally. Like, and then the stacks make it so you can't even trade. Because if you trade for longer than 2 seconds, you get a 4 stack on you and you're slowed. Like, why does this 3 slow you?
You don't even need a 4 stack to get slowed, by the way. You only need a 2x.
Yeah, it's a 2 of 4. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like, you just get, like, this character, it has built-in shred. Like, okay. And, like, I don't know. This character's, I honestly think it's, like, the gun damage, mainly. Like, if you lower the gun damage, like, 10%, get rid of the slow on the 3, he's probably pretty balanced.
I actually think that if you look at his gun damage comparison to a lot of other heroes, his gun damage is actually not very good. But it's the fact that he has 18% shred in his kit available for very little AP.
Yeah.
So if you, in my opinion, remove the bullet resist, remove the shred on the scarabs entirely, like he has too much amp for his own damage. Like I
This
don't. I
character's
think
the best hero in the game.
Yeah, this hero is definitely S tier. Everybody in the chat voted S tier or A tier. I think this is gonna go top of S tier right now because 62% S tier, 33% A tier, and then there's 3 of you that voted B, and then 2 of you that voted C and D. Now I can't identify you, but if I could, you would be permanently banned.
This hero is just like, that hero is just, I'm over it. I'm over playing against it. Like yesterday on my Smurf with Fickle, I'm just fully zoned out. Me and Salty, I think. I'm just fully zoned out of my lane by a noob, and like I don't even know what to do. I'm just over it. Like
the next hero, Mo and Krill.
This character is literally like, I'm not gonna say it, but you know what I want to say.
Yeah, I mean this character, this character is pretty strong. I'm curious how the people view him, but you've got a hero that's strong laning. This hero is unkillable. Has infinite sustain. Like the Scorn healing. Okay, so if you listen to Mo and Krill players talk for 30 seconds, they'll like make you believe that the Scorn healing is like not that much. But like if you actually play the hero yourself for 1 game and you press Scorn, you heal for 1 million. But like Mo and Krill players are going to try to convince you that it doesn't heal that much for some reason. But like this ability is unfair. He has a disarm. It's AoE. It's not even targeted disarm. It's just an AoE disarm. It puts 2 points in it and it becomes 4 seconds and 20-second cooldown and combo. This hero is one of the most annoying heroes to play against. He can fully nullify you out of a game. I can be the best player in the world and little Jimmy comes back from school and just like shuts me down completely out of the game with this hero.
Like, why is there an ability that gives him like Viscous Ball levels of resistance and move speed? and it's just like permanent uptime. And then he has best HP boon scaling in the game, like 80% bullet res and burrow. Like, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I
he's
don't know.
that.
And then his ult is just the best shutdown in the entire game. It lasts for like 5 seconds, and it's like a 1-minute cooldown. And then you can disarm them for like 4 seconds, and then you buy Phantom Strike to another 3 seconds of disarm. Like, you're playing an ADC against this character, you get like 7-second disarmed.
We also
You know that
mentioned the
ult.
fact that he has 72 base DPS on his gun,
Yeah, it's like this character is just stupid.
despite being unkillable.
He has that 700 base health and a built-in heal and a disarm. Like, I don't get it. That character is just, this character is way too overbloated, because back in the day everyone was shit at this hero, so they kept buffing it. And I warned Yoshi. I literally did.
Yeah, thank you
When
for the
these
$2.
buffs started going through, like even pre-NDA, I was like, oh, I don't know, man. I'm pretty sure that hero is not need to be buffed. And they kept getting
Yep.
buffed, and I was like, this is getting to the point that this character is going to be OP, like secretly, and here we are.
So
I remixed
bottom
and
of S
made
tier.
this character like OP.
Sure. Bottom of S tier, 50% S tier, 46% A tier, so makes sense. Hydration says
Like-
Jur made this hero look balanced. Okay, true.
Like, by the way, hydration is one tricking this hero in comp. That's when you know a hero is actually just H tier. Like, if hydration is one tricking mowing Krill, does that tell you anything, by the way? Like, anyone in chat? Like, hydration is one tricking mowing Krill in comp. Like, oh, okay. I mean, sure, it's balanced.
Paradox used to be the most OP hero in the game, probably, for like a long time. And then it's been pretty much nothing but nerfed. When's the last time they buffed this hero?
I don't
I think
care.
they
This
buffed, like,
character's
the
fundamentally,
Yeah, but this
character's
character's kit
fundamentally
is just
broken and unfun.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. This hero's kit is just like,
Right.
okay, time wall is insane, swap's insane, carbine's all of her abilities are just like,
I'm literally writing on the forum right now. You made me remember, like, you should not be able to shoot through both sides of the wall. If you whoop-de-wop someone to the other side of the wall, you shouldn't be able to shoot through that side either.
yeah.
Like, the wall should be a fixed a pane. Like, one side
Mhm.
works, one side doesn't, and you shouldn't be able to go through it, then shoot them through. They can't shoot you through. Like, that would
Yeah.
make this character so much more tolerable.
Yeah, or the wall could be destroyed, or like at least make it so there's some sort of counterplay around the wall. Right now, the wall is just like the Paradox puts the wall down, and then she'll go, through both sides of the wall and just juke you for 5 minutes. And if you go through the wall every time, you lose 10% of your max health. By the way, not current health, max health. So you'll just take like 300 damage every time you go through the wall. So you can't go through the wall. And it also silences you, and also she has displacement, and also her carbine slows time, and it like stuns you out of your abilities. By the way, have you guys ever tried pressing like Calico's 2 when you get kinetic carbine? You literally don't move. Like, there's like so many abilities in the game that just don't work when you get kinetic carbine. And then her grenade gives her damage amp for whatever reason. Like, why is the character in the game with some of the most utility gets damage amp?
Oh,
Personally.
and it's the biggest hitbox in the entire game on her ult. It's like LARP, but this character is like hard to use. But that swap, I don't know. Go to the training mode and use the swap. It's like the size of mowing Krill. The swap projectile.
Yeah, true. I try to miss
this
it.
thing
Oh, I
misses
still hit
you.
it. So yeah, community thinks she is A tier, with 32% of people voting S tier. So I believe that puts her probably right around Talon levels, right around Holliday Talon levels. I don't think that's completely egregious. I personally would have put her in S tier, but what do you think about Pocket? You and I have been playing it more. What do you think about him?
It's good. It'll never be OP anymore unless they change. Like, I think right now, like, the items that they suit this character perfectly, and he's still not S tier. Like, there's so much early spirit stacking in the game, and he is negative 15 spirit res. Like, until his base stats are different, his character will never be S tier, I don't think. But I think it's just A tier. But I don't think this character should ever be S tier, though. To be fair,
I
when
agree.
this character was S tier, the game's unplayable.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, just like when this hero was OP, like it was literally like so easy to play, and this hero was so easy to play because you had 0 cooldowns. Like, I mean, you still have 0 cooldowns on this hero, to be honest. Like, you almost always have your abilities up. This hero abuses Diviner's Kevlar. This hero abuses barriers really well. Like, this hero has damage amp, escape, mobility, anti-heal.
The best thing about this character is built-in AoE anti-heal.
Yeah.
That's like the only. That's like chat underestimates like how good like anti-heal is.
Yeah, like suppressing
early
targets by
anti-heal AoE is good.
50% means that you don't have to build Healbane on this character, or you can build Healbane and it'll stack, right? You either or, but you don't actually have to build anti-heal on this character because you should mostly be fighting around your ult anyway. So as soon as you get 2 points in it, no, I know that
apply, you know, so it's like
yeah, but like if you're gonna hit him with Cape or Barrage or whatever, so it still stacks, you know. But yeah, the ultimate doesn't use items, yeah. I think for me this hero is like A tier probably. Let's see what the community voted. Yeah, it looks like A and B. Yeah, 50% A, 38% B. So makes sense to me. I will put him bottom of A. 7. This 7 hero has gone through a lot of stages of like, this hero was like the ultimate noob stomper back when like NDA dropped and like a bunch of people got in. Everyone thought 7 was OP when he was actually like not that good back then. And since then he's received a lot of buffs, and now his ultimate is like actually insane. His ultimate's actually insane because you get instant like lightning strike damage. Like you press your ultimate button early game, by the way, as soon as you press your ultimate button early game, you do instantly like 400 damage. Like instantly.
Yeah,
you press Infuser, you 400 damage nuke.
Yeah,
you can't miss it.
I really just don't like the direction of this character. Like I don't like the I think when they added that, it was a little oppressive. Like having a stun built in on an M1 character that has endgame potential was a little silly. And then, then they added the ability to put on yourself, which is like even more broken. And then they added like a CC in the ult. So it's like this character like randomly has so much CC with how much damage. And he also like the spirit meta, and he has a lot of early spirit items that are OP, and he has built-in spirit shred with 1 AP. Like that, the shred on the AP should definitely be like 2 points.
At the very least, and like 15% is still a lot. Like I think as well. Yeah. I think having shred this strong at 1 AP is insane. The stun is super value. Like this hero's only ability that's like not very good right now is just lightning ball. Lightning ball kind of sucks.
Like that ability absolutely sucked. That ability got so over nerfed. I mean, it's like I don't like this character is like good. I just don't know if this character is S. I think it's like A.
Yeah, I don't think this character is S by himself, but I think people will probably vote him S because I think in pubs he is probably S tier.
No, this character when it was D tier in comp was S tier in pubs. Like this character has always been. This character, I don't even know if this character has ever not been the highest win rate hero. Like I swear this hero is like highest pub win rate for like since
just forever.
Day 1 of the game. Yeah.
Yeah.
No because one bro, back in no one would even buy knockdown for the ult.
Yeah,
you don't
I know.
Unstoppable.
I made a whole video like back in September that was just telling people like, hey, here's how to counter 7, and it was essentially buy knockdown and invade his jungle when he's farming, and that's still pretty much the same thing. The problem now is that his early game is like stronger than it was before, partly due to items and partly due to other things. Like Infuser wasn't a thing way back in the day, right? Infuser like makes his ult early like so oppressive because for 500 he gets lifesteal and a bunch of spirit in his ult.
Yeah,
he just one-shots you with Infuser and you can't kill him. So people voted 80% S tier, by the way. 80% S tier, 15% A. I think that actually puts him above Mirage. I think that puts him top of S tier. I would not have put him there, but I understand why people would. Okay, we've got Shiv. I mean, Shiv for a long time. Shiv's like a DLC hero, but in my opinion, right now he's like a balanced DLC hero. Like he pumps out a lot of damage out of nowhere, but at the same time he has very clear counters. I think that bloodletting, fundamentally, when he got added to the game, I said bloodletting is like a broken ability, and I still stand by that. I don't like this ability. I would like this ability to be reworked because I think it's very unclear when you're fighting him, like how much damage he's actually like clearing, and like, you know, is he gonna die? Is he not gonna die? It's extremely unclear, and I don't know, damage reduction is always going to be really strong in like games like this. So this ability is like, I don't like it.
That's like the least egregious ability he has, man. This character, like, it's just poorly designed. And like all in all, like he does way too much damage with certain things with no items. Like this character, like bro, built-in damage amp on your entire kit on the ult, the rage bar is a little silly. And then I don't like how the ult tells you when they're execute range. You don't have to like do any math. It's a light that comes on and says, "Yep, you get a kill now." I think that's brain dead. It should be like you should have to predict if the person is below the threshold, and then if you're wrong, you don't get a refund. I don't like how it's just like green light. Nope, he's done. And like I just don't like how like you don't even have to build any spirit. You just buy decay extra spirit, and your knife's just like 700 damage with max rage.
I don't
I
know.
don't think he's OP. I think he's B tier.
I think he's B tier. I like a lot of parts of the design of this hero. I'm honestly fine with the killing blow, like telling you when people are executable or whatever. Like, I disagree with you on that point. Like, obviously it would be more skillful if it didn't tell you, but at the same time, I think it's one of those things that just makes the game a little bit more approachable for newer players. So I'm fine with it. I do agree that full damage amp on all of his abilities, I don't like that. I would like if the rage bonuses for his abilities were more unique, rather than just giving damage amp. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. The 2 is cool. I'm not saying the character's OP. I understand that he has no utility. I just don't like the direction of his balancing. I just don't think it's very cool.
Okay. Looks like most people put in B tier, 58%, 23A, 16 C tier. I think that puts him probably towards the lower end of B tier. We move on. SINCLAIR, another DLC hero. This hero is probably one of the highest skill ceiling heroes in the game right now. This may be controversial. Like, I'm not saying he's particularly hard to play, but a lot of the heroes in the game are very easy to play. I think this hero is like hard to execute very well on, but I think his kit is fundamentally broken. I think this hero's kit is fundamentally broken, but I think with how good people are at him right now, he's S tier, A tier, sorry. But I think fundamentally he should be S tier. I think the only ability that he has that's like meh is like his Vexing Bolt, because it's just kind of hard to hit, but everything else is like how is an AoE hex that is 3 seconds base with 2 points in it that gives damage amp to yourself? How is that fair? And also, you can steal every hero's ultimate with a 50% second cooldown, 50% cooldown. And this character's laning is just insane. Bad gun? No, his gun is really good. His gun is really good. His gun is one of the best guns in the game for sure. Like in lane, like you're not gonna build him full gun. Like he's not like a Wraith gun, but in lane, holy fuck. Like in lane, he just like destroys with his gun. It looks like the community thinks he's S tier. I think that's correct. I think right now people are quite bad at him still, like myself included. Like I'm probably one of the better SINCLAIR players out there, but I think I'm still like really bad. Like I think I still have so much to improve on. So like I think this character is definitely S tier, like in principle. 30%, 33% A tier. So that probably puts him towards the lower half of S tier. Well. Now we get to Vindicta. I mean, Vindicta is like, she's not a DLC hero, but she behaves like one. I mean, okay, so this hero was like, for a long time, Assassinate got nerfed I don't know how many times in a row. A lot of times in a row. And it's not that good anymore. Like, Assassinate is like fine. It's like a decent ability. But I don't think it's that OP, Assassinate itself. But Crow, this ability is like so OP, it's not even funny.
It's rank 1 ability in Deadlock, all of Deadlock. Like, unironically, that is the rank 1 ability that is on any character for any reason. That is the #1 ability in the game.
Like, I don't know if people can't read, but okay, first of all, this is the only hero in the game that applies shred of both types. Someone said 850 souls per kill, not OP. Yeah, but the thing is, they're unsecured souls, so if you die, it's actually not even OP. Like, the souls part is like not even OP about Vindicta, because if you die, you drop all your souls and you just like donate them. You just donate the souls.
It doesn't matter.
Having 18% shred of both types. Like, think about the other heroes in the game that have shred, right? Mirage has 18% bullet shred. But only bullet shred. And he can only realistically apply it to like one person per fight. And it's like a longer cooldown and it doesn't ricochet, etc. Like, other 7 has 15% spirit shred. Vindicta has 18% of both types of shred. On like no cooldown. And it procs actives. It procs items. And it does percent health damage. So, yeah. Flight is like a decent ability. I don't think this ability is OP. I think it makes her annoying to deal with, but like whatever. It's like a nothing burger. I don't think it's what makes her OP. And Stake is just like, this ability is really good too. Like, realistically, Stake and Crow are her best abilities, because this ability synergizes really well with certain items. For example, Alk Fire. Like, this Alk Fire plus Crow plus Stake shit is just like, you look at your death recap and you took 800 damage from Alk Fire.
Like, if Crow and Stake were single target, this character would be so much more healthy.
Yeah. And also, like, all of her abilities are just, like, amped by the fact that Crow is so OP. So she has 18 shred, so she just hits you like a truck, despite the number on her abilities, like, not being that oppressive. But, like, since, you know, yeah.
I just hope the devs balance that character the correct way. Everything in her kit is OP because of the egregious shred. I just
Yes.
hope they don't nerf other aspects of her kit, and then in a month go, oh, we'll nerf the crow now, and then she's actually just bad. I hope they actually understand that the crow shred makes everything broken.
Yes. I agree. I think if they nerf the crow shred and they made it like, I don't know, 10-10 instead of 18-18, even 10-10 would still be really strong.
And not proc items like pocket.
Yeah. So this character got S tier as well. Makes sense. I don't think
and the crow is like 7 seconds.
She goes right here ish. It's not very scientific, but
sense.
yeah, the crow lasts forever and also has 0-second cooldowns. It's 100% uptime on the crow once you get some cooldown reduction in spirit. So I think
the hero's kit is inherently OP. There are just other the current S tier characters make this character miserable. Like but if those top characters were nerfed, this character could easily be top 3 again. But just like you don't want to play Viscous into like Mirage, GT, Vindicta, Calicos, whatever. But like what I'm saying.
Bebop.
A lot of the top tier Bebop, like all the like S tier heroes make this characters just like look. Well, man, it's like really annoying.
I think this hero is still like really strong, and like Cube has got to be like a top ability in the game by itself.
Yeah.
Like without any investment into it, like you don't even need to put a single point into it. It gives you a save that lasts 4 seconds, like on anyone that's getting full comboed, full CC'd or whatever. In a game that has a decent amount of CC, this ability is really good. And like the rest of his kit's pretty good too. Someone said Cube, Tornado, and Crow best abilities in the game. I mean, they're definitely top. They're definitely some of the top abilities for sure. But yeah, like everything about this hero is pretty good. His biggest weaknesses that don't make him S tier is one, he has counters. Like as some of the S tier heroes, they just don't really have counters. Like what's the counter to Mirage, for example? Like there is no counter. Like Mirage is just strong no matter what. You can't counter him. Like the only counter to Mirage is just like hard CC, I guess. But like hard CC counters every hero. So, this hero's main weaknesses are one, he has counters like flyers and people with shred, and two, he has a really, really big head box, so like he just gets like perma headshotted by good players. But other than that, he's like, in my opinion, he's probably like very high A tier. It looks like people are putting him between A and B, only a few S tier votes, so I think that puts him like middle of the road A tier. Probably puts him like right around Geist-ish. I think that's fair. Okay, Vyper. I think this hero, DLC hero, but is Vyper balanced? Is Vyper bad? Is Vyper good? I think this hero is probably going to be the one that most people disagree with. I think this hero is like probably the most underrated hero in the game right now. I think a lot of people might think this hero is not that good, and I think, like, for example, we're really stupid for not picking it. Like, we haven't practiced it in scrims much at all. And we definitely should, because this hero has a lot of potential. Vyper laning is terrible, though. I don't agree. If you pair him with any decent combo, Venom is a guaranteed kill. Like, if you pair him with anyone that has, like, kill pressure or, like, a CC or something, like, pair him with 7 stun, pair him with Abrams charging in, pair him with a Bebop hook.
Bebop hook into a... Like, his ult is, like, a top 5 ability, like, top 5 ult in the game. His ult's fucking broken.
Yeah.
Like, that ult counters, like, a lot of OP ults in the game. Like, that ult single-handedly can just instantly counter a 7 or a Lash, like, free unstoppable on, like, a really short cooldown.
Yep. Yeah, it's a short cooldown. It does damage. It makes them unable to play the game. They're petrified for, like, a decent amount of time, right? Base duration is 2 seconds. And then when you max it, it becomes 3 seconds where they can't play the game. They can't do anything, like, no counterplay at all. Stuns people, counters Dynamo, Lash, 7, like any channel, Mo and Krill as well, right? Any channel ability.
Yeah.
This hero just, boom, counters it. 2 is guaranteed kills.
This character has a lot of counters and is strong, but has counters. Like, this character has way more easy, straight up counters than, like, Mirage. But this character's strong.
Yeah.
I think I like the average person would say Viper's B, but I feel like we're wrong in a day. But like, I'm not saying like, for a fact, but like, there's just no way this character will eventually be nerfed. Like, I think it's like underrated for sure. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong.
No, I agree. I think it's like the most underrated hero right now. People are voting B, so I'm gonna put him in B. It looks like probably middle of the line B. In fact, some people voted C even. So, but I think if you compare him to the other heroes in B, if you compare him to Dynamo, Shiv, Lash, like there's no way that this hero is actually worse than these heroes, or like on the same level even. How good is Warden? This hero is like this hero had
like second most underrated.
I kind of agree if it wasn't for, I mean, okay, so it depends. This hero has like some kind of meh laning matchups depending on the matchups. I mean, the time that we played it in scrims, right? Like if you have like a strong lane like Vindicta, Warden, and you're going against like Pocket, then obviously this hero looks OP as hell in lane. His early game is kind of like meh, especially before you get movement speed or whatever. This hero can feel like you're just like moving through mud.
Bro, Warden is like so close to being OP, I swear. Like I don't know. I know like on paper and in practice are different, but like read this character's one. Is this not the fucking craziest thing in the game? Like all over.
I mean, the one is good. The one is good, but like the AoE of it is not that big, so you're only like most of the time you're hitting one person. Depends, but the flask is really good.
Dude, like read that shit, man. Like if you have CD, that if you're playing Spirit build and you have CD, that shit is like a 3-second cooldown and it's inhibitor for free, and then it slows them and removes the stamina and it has a 3-second cooldown.
Okay, okay. To be fair, it's I'm pretty sure it doesn't work like inhibitor though. I'm pretty sure the minus 30% weapon damage is like, I'm pretty sure it's flat. I don't think it's percentage. Like, so if they have like 100% weapon damage, it'll take, like if they have 200% weapon damage, it'll take them from 200 to 170. I'm pretty sure.
Well, that makes sense then, actually.
It's not that good. Like, it's good, but it's not that good.
The 2 is crazy also. The 2 has 4 scaling.
Like, think about it. The one essentially just counters like hollow point ward. Think about it that way.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, it's not that good.
That makes sense then.
So it's like, it's fine. I think this hero is like realistically right now like B or even C tier. I think he is a little bit underrated, but I don't think he's like, I think Vyper has more potential than this hero, so I think it's only fair to like put him in like low B tier or like C tier even.
I think this character is like the same strength as Infernus.
I disagree just because right now like Infernus's early game is like, I think way better than this hero. I think this hero is just not as good as Infernus, but looks like the community thinks that he's like high B tier. Like a lot of people put him A tier too, so I think that puts him at the top of B tier. So looks like people agree that he is better than Infernus. All right, so Wraith. All right, so Metro's in the chat just to get Wraith S tier. I think Wraith is one of those heroes that like actually outputs like 1,000,000 damage, but the early game of Wraith right now is her biggest weakness, and since we're in a very early game centric meta, she's fallen off. But if you get past the early game, this hero does like so much damage and has a point and click CC silence and a TP to get out. Like her kit is just fundamentally insanely strong for like a carry. Like this is like the dream kit of a carry. You have something to amp your damage with fire rate, and you get damage per bullet, right? Which is insane with any fire rate stacking. You have a point and click CC that silences and disarms. So if anyone gets on top of you, you use this on them, you just kill them. And you have a TP to get out of trouble. Like her only ability that's like kind of meh is like the cards are like, they're okay. They're not really that great. I think this character is probably like A tier right now. Or like, I could see B tier. I could see like top of B tier just because her early game is like not that good like compared to other heroes. It's probably B tier realistically. It's probably like top of B tier in my opinion. My vote would be probably like A tier or top of B tier. Well, it looks like most people are voting A or B.
I honestly think this character like fundamentally is like actually fucking broken. It's just the fact that lane isn't meta right now. The character is like slept on, and like if this character got buffed and then the meta changed to where it was less laney dependent, this character is like top 3. Because remember what this character was like 2 months ago? Nothing has happened.
This hero is definitely still really strong. It's just that the game is so early game centric that it's like way worse. So people voted A with a decent amount of people voting B, so I think we're putting her bottom of A tier ish. I think that's fair. I could totally see her being in B tier as well, but makes sense. And then to finish it off, we've got Yamato, the 4-head warrior.
I can't wait for this hero to be reworked.
Like the visually or
man, no, like kit wise, it is so dumb.
Right.
Like the 2 grappling on me through buildings at 70 meters feels terrible.
Yep, that's true. Yeah, the grapple ability is like, if they nerf it, like before, like there was a point in time where it just like didn't work very well for the Yamato players. Now it works way too well for the Yamato players. This ability, like I'll go through like 5 veils. I remember specifically yesterday, I was playing Pocket, right? And I like force Yamato's ultimate, and then I like disappear around a corner with my cloak and satchel, and somehow she still hooks me through like 2 walls.
I saw that. I think the character's A. It's definitely not broken. It's frustrating, if that makes sense. Like, the character Also, this character is not even utilized in low elo properly. Like, nobody even right clicks in low elo. Like if you actually spam right click slide, it's actually super annoying. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think the character is like not OP at the moment because like we've complained about it,
Yeah.
but it's definitely like needs a slight rework before the game launches. It's not really cool to play against. It's definitely just strong. Her base strength as a hero is a little bit too high inherently with the ults. I think it's just like so much backline pressure.
Yeah, I think she's like probably like right now she's probably towards like middle of A. Like she's a strong hero. You can pick her. You're never upset to have a Yamato on your team. There's never a moment where
Yeah.
you have Yamato and you're like, oh fuck, we have Yamato. This hero's gonna be useless. So you're never upset. But this hero doesn't like. This hero is not nearly as oppressive as any of the S tier heroes that I think are S tier at least. So I would never put this hero in S tier. And also the S tier heroes inherently are very good against this hero. Like Mirage and Yamato, Mirage and Vindicta both like shred this hero's resistances during her ult, which like since shred is all the shred heroes are like meta and really good, like Seven, Mirage, and Vindicta. Anytime those heroes are in the game, if there's multiple of those heroes on the enemy team, you do get melted in your ult.
This character's
So
right click is literally a 5th spell for free.
true. So it looks
And she
like
has extra melee damage.
I A tier is what people voted.
I kind of agree.
All right, so this is the final tier list that people voted on. I don't know if you see my stream screen. I don't know if you have it up. This is community tier list. So what I would do is I think 7 A tier, Kelvin A tier, Sinclair A tier. I think you keep this S tier. This is fine. Bebop is like sleeper S tier. Like I'll put him bottom. I think it's like a pilot issue for the most part. People just need to be really good at this hero, and then it's like OP. And the better that people get at the game, the better this hero is only gonna get. In A tier, is there anyone I would take down? I'd probably put Wraith like top of B tier, and I'd probably put Ivy top of B tier as well. I'm not sure if she's like an.
Kelvin should be way lower.
Yeah, Kelvin should be
Kelvin
like.
is worse than GT, Paradox, Yamato, Holliday, like all that stuff. Viscous is better than. I mean, it's what I don't know. I don't think 7 and Sinclair are better than a lot of those heroes.
Yeah. In terms of okay, so I think Sinclair is probably worse than GT in terms of consistency. I'd probably go like Paradox, Holliday. I think Paradox is better than Holliday, to be honest. Although it's hard to say. I'd probably go like GT, Paradox, Holliday, Sinclair, 7, and then the rest, whatever.